really quick. If you guys can start.
Okay. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
New edition of Open Tabs on this sunny Tuesday. Okay, so at the top, Oscars. We're doing this on Tuesday, so like it's pretty fresh. Megan, did you watch? And like, do you have any like thoughts, overarching feelings about it?
So for me, I feel like as I always have such a read on culture and where it's at. So like the award show for me is kind of like a test of the Oscars and the Academy of like, did they get it right? You know? And I feel like they did a lot better than I expected them to do. And I was really happy that Michael B. Jordan won his award. I was so happy that Timmy didn't win. I love Timmy, but he is acting up this year. So I'm like, you don't deserve it.
He has gotten so much negative press.
Yeah. He's just, he's being obnoxious. Like how boys his age are. But I thought
I've seen some posts that made me laugh, you guys, about nostalgia for like the old Timothy Chalamet. Really, just the way the internet is taking nostalgia is like insane.
Yeah. Everything's nostalgic. That should be like a Charlie XCX remix. Everything's nostalgic. Similar to you, Megan, I basically watched it for Michael B. Jordan. He is like kind of like my movie star. He gets me into movie theaters. I don't think there is another actor who does that for me. And I think I watched him on Friday Night Lights, so I feel like I've been watching him for so long.
Did you see him and Jesse Plemons had their little moment? I literally so cute.
I was so happy. And I also watched him. I think he's in Big Love, which I watched with Amanda Seyfried. It's like a show. It was an old HBO show about.
Right. I think
Big Love. Yes, but I do not remember him in it. Michael B. Jordan.
So I just actually listened to a podcast with Amanda Seyfried where she talks about it. They did a soap opera together in their like early teens. And she got on Big Love and they needed a boyfriend, somebody to play her boyfriend. And she was like, oh, my friend Michael should do it. And so I'm like, oh, I've been like watching him since he was a teenager. And Sinners was amazing. So I was very excited about that. I also I do agree with you, Megan. I feel like they're like it was like less clunky than it has been in the past. Like they've been having like the influencers on the red carpets. I feel like there were some clunky moments with like Jake Shane.
But that was Vanity Fair. So that's not the Oscars. That's the Vanity Fair.
Was it Amelia?
Amelia was the red carpet.
She's great.
Moldenberg?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like she's good. She doesn't hit as hard for me like when she's live versus like her like taped, obviously. Like I feel like it's like I feel like so much of what resonates for me with her is the way that those chicken shop date videos are edited.
Yeah. Even Mary Beth Barone, who like everyone loved her red carpet interviews, they were all edited. So I think that people kind of just are craving the more edited experience these days.
I mean,
did you watch Paige? Was Paige doing her coverage?
Not. Paige and Hannah. So they were doing the Vanity Fair coverage last year. And this year it was Jake Shane, Quinn, and Brittany Broski. And when that video came out, I sent it to Kaylee and I was like, Hannah and Paige fired.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I also, from what I've heard on the podcast, Hannah is not doing red carpet reporting anymore. And like, that's more of a Paige thing. And she did a red carpet recently. So I think
No, I feel like last year in the Paige DeSorbo run of like, from the breakup onward, it was such a big moment. I also like haven't been following her as closely, but like I feel like in her Instagram she was getting ready for some sort of red carpet. I sort of assumed it was the same, but
I
guess not.
I forget which award show it was, but it was the Actor Awards?
I think
Maybe it was the Actor Awards,
Yeah, with Netflix.
which was the Screen Actors Guild Awards. But
Yes, the SAG Awards, but they're, Netflix is anti-union, as we talked about before. Uh, with Paige, she actually is doing a collab with Courtney right now for the Lemmy Gummies. So Lemmy Gummies and Daphne are doing a collab. You didn't see this, Emma?
No.
You'll cool when I've seen something before, Emma. One of our shared internet things. Yeah, they did an ad where they're both like, it's like very like old commercial and infomercial vibes.
Oh, interesting. Cool. But I feel like Jake Shane is like, not that he like replaced. I mean, he kind of did with Glenn, but I feel like he's very like he's making a strong push to like get into the mainstream. I think he's on Broadway right now, and like to get into actual Hollywood and like not internet entertainment, but like IRL entertainment. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the whole theme of the year, Megan. Like, right? Like, I feel like there's so much of like, it feels like the path of creators was like everyone would graduate to YouTube. It was like, right? And then now it's like if you've made it to YouTube, the next step is Hollywood.
Yeah, totally. Markiplier just made a movie and it was out in theaters. Amelia de was on my favorite podcast, The Town, talking about her hosting gig. And that was something she said. She was like, for us creators, there's still an allure to Hollywood and that stamp of approval. Like, because Matt was very much like, you're the young generation bringing the cool to this. And she was like, no, I'm excited to be here at this event that maybe to you is like, seems old, but like to us is very aspirational still.
I know. Well, so then what's after Hollywood?
It's like, I don't know. I mean, this like opens Bravoverse.
And then we've come full circle.
No, but you're like, we were kind of talking in our like prep call that we do before we actually go live about like how in 2029, correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, the Oscars will be exclusively streamed on YouTube. And I was watching and I was scrolling like I'm not supposed to do. They like did a skit about how everyone's scrolling, so like people miss details. So I was like, oh, that's me. But and I looked up and there was like MrBeast like on the screen. And it was interesting. Like they were acknowledging that like Hollywood has to like fit itself into like the social media mold. Like there was a skit about like how they're hiring editors to like cut movies into like vertical shorts so people can watch them on TikTok. And like that in 2029 there's going to be like a MrBeast award or like something. So it was like interesting. It was like I feel like it was like pretty self-aware about like the state of Hollywood and that like YouTube is kind of coming for them. Okay, so that was like a pretty good segue into our next topic, which is the Bravoverse.
Speaking of
the Bravoverse, so I included this in the Real Gems email. So if you read that, this might not be new news, but I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to talk about it. So Peacock is launching an AI version of Andy Cohen. They're creating an AI avatar that is going to guide users through Bravo content. So this summer on their Peacock mobile app, they are going to be launching the Bravoverse, which is going to be a TikTok style short form video feed where an AI avatar of Andy Cohen will be narrating and like reacting to clips from Bravo shows. And I think also like I would assume like social content from their channels. So, and beyond that, in addition to that, they will also be rolling out AI powered games and experiences. And I feel like this is really interesting. Megan, you wrote a piece for us in November about like how Netflix is trying to get more like social and interactive and like them bringing podcasts onto the platform and them also doing games and like polls during shows, and kind of trying to like gamify the platform and keep people on. But it's really funny that like they haven't launched a TikTok feed in their app yet. So I wanted to see what you guys thought of this.
I would prefer a Netflix TikTok feed, but I'm not a Bravo watcher, so I think that's my thing. I mean, this is an attempt to capture up every ounce of attention. You know, as you said, you're second screening while you're watching the Oscars,
Mhm.
and I bet you people are second screening while they're watching reality TV. So they're like, how can we make sure that we capture that as well? Which is something that I think everyone is emulating from the promise of YouTube. I don't know if that's exactly what actually happens when people are watching YouTube, but that's the promise of YouTube and like their Oscar campaign of like, you can watch the Oscars and then also be scrolling through the looks on your phone. And like they have short form and long form. So I think that's kind of like the larger business goal here. And then obviously everybody's obsessed with AI adoption and getting everybody to do AI. Is this something consumers actually want? I don't think so, but we'll see if they can shove it down our throats.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think, like, what do I have so many thoughts. I feel like this is gonna be an extremely, like, rough version 1 of emergent technologies that we need to, like, sort of throw out there, and we all know that the possibility is there. I think that they're gonna learn a lot, probably, quickly, like, I think starting with audience appetite for this, I think, like, the idea of even just stepping back for a second, like, programming, like, mobile consumption while experiencing, like, a live viewing experience on a TV is really compelling, so I feel like that's interesting. I think that the AI-led experience of, like, using Andy specifically for that, like, I feel like, I don't know if any of us need that. Like, I could see, like, we've talked about, like, Spotify's, like, AI DJ, and, like,
Mhm.
I feel like that's completely sufficient for, like, the technology. I wonder if the idea of it being Andy is, like, a way to get, like, press and, like, for it to be sort of fun and, like, have him he's, like, his own media outlet, right? Like, he's got his show, so, like, his, radio show, he's got Watch What Happens Live, like, he's so, like, to pin it to him is, like, kind of fun and, like, why not? I also think that there's, like, a danger in that too, in that, we were talking about in our prep call too, like, one of my favorite things about Andy is, like, hearing his take on things that are happening in real life, and so I'm just curious, like, the difference in what they're envisioning for this experience of it being, like, is it really, like, his personal takes on stuff and, like, his advice on which shows to now go to and, like, all of that, and, like, is it really based in his personality, or is he more sort of like, like, navigation and you've chosen Andy's voice and it can just, like, take you around, I guess I just don't know how much, like, personality is infused in this and his opinion and all of that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think that, like, for what this is reminding of me of, like, when 360 video launched or, like, short form video, and it's like, well, you throw the paint on the wall, and in, like, 5 years, it's not gonna look anything like what they have conceptualized.
Picking up the thread of that thought experiment, though, I think something interesting thinking about is like, what does the long term of this look like for Bravo? And a lot of what myself, if I'm putting my futurist hat on, and like a lot of other people are predicting with AI and entertainment is that like it'll become kind of like a video game
Yeah.
type thing where like, so when I see this in a Bravo setting, I feel like they're going to want to make AI versions of all of their people. It won't just be Andy. It'll be like all the housewives and like every
Totally.
character that's ever existed. And then you can make your own shows where you can be like, I want to put season 2 Summer House Paige DeSorbo and season 1 Vicky Gunvalson and this person all in a house together and see what happens, like The Sims, you know? So I think that's kind of like, and I'm like, but do people want that? Does that work? Like without the original, So I think it'll be interesting to think about too. Reality stars get more savvy about the value that they're bringing to a network like Bravo. It's interesting that they're like, well, we're just going to make AI versions of you guys.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah. I mean, even as you sort of illustrate that visual, it always goes back to my Ready Player One.
Yep.
And like, even in that world that's created, the guy, his name is escaping me, but who like founded it, who created it is, he was like, so much of it is like inspired by the 80s and nostalgia. And like, he's an avatar in it. And you have to like, he's like written himself into code into Ready Player One. And like, you can literally visualize like copy paste, like Bravo into all of it.
Totally.
Andy is like that guy. Yeah, the idea of like gaming for Bravo is really interesting. Like I'm surprised that it doesn't exist already, to be honest with you.
I think it's honestly just people not taking women seriously and women's interests seriously. Like The Sims, there should be a The Sims. Like there should be so much more with The Sims IP, but it's just like, oh, that's for girls. And so they just don't care and they ignore it in the gaming world. Same with especially when it comes to girls in gaming. People just are like, don't care if that girl's game, even though there's so much money to be had there. Like they just, it's always strange to me how capitalists like will let misogyny undermine their bottom line. Because I'm like, I thought you guys cared about money more than anything, and you're leaving all this money on the table.
I totally agree about the gaming. Like, I can't believe there hasn't been one yet. Like how the Kardashians have like Kim Kardashian Hollywood.
They can't get talent to agree, And like even like they're getting like Nene recently was like, every Bravo meme is me. Like I'm all the Bravo memes. Like when you think about it, like I helped build this network to make it what it was and make it as culturally relevant as it is. So I bet you there's interest from Bravo to do more of that, but I bet you they can't get the talent to get on board, which I don't think they need to pay them very handsomely.
Yeah. I also think this is them like trying to get in on the huge business that is like Bravo centric content creators. And like they already kind of do. They're like panelists at BravoCon and like they will appear on Watch What Happens Live. But like when I watch Summer House tomorrow, after the episode ends, I'm going to go on TikTok to like my favorite Bravo creators and like see what they think, or like Instagram. And it used to be like Twitter and now it's more Reddit for me. But like I go to these other external platforms because my sister doesn't watch it. So I'm like, I need to talk about this with somebody. And they're huge. Like we did a Q&A with Gibson Johns, who's a Bravo specific content creator. And like, that is his career. And there are dozens of content creators who like make a full-time living for like a decade plus now, just commentating on Bravo. And it's a huge business now. And I feel like this is Bravo trying to say, don't go to TikTok to see what so-and-so has to say. Stay and get AI Andy Cohen's take instead.
Yeah. I also think it's a way for them to create that content because I think that content has value. Like I watch a lot of that content, even though I don't watch Bravo shows. I know everything that's happening with Summer House this season.
Yeah.
Like I know Amanda's not like talking to the new girls. I know Kyle brought her a Rolex. Like I know all of the drama just from like being online because like it's such a cottage industry. So like they're probably like, well, this is our way to like get people in. Like they could probably, if they added some marketing dollars behind it, convince people like me to actually tune into Summer House as opposed to just consuming it secondhand through short form video.
I feel like that's really, it's funny, like as you guys were talking about this, it's reminding me of our conversation around like employee creators also, and like this idea of like, okay, from the brand perspective, what do you do with employee creators. Like, how do you think about it? Staples baddie, like, like all of it. And then now this conversation is like all about the supplemental content that helps drive conversation, make it relevant in the hours that the show is not airing, right? Like I remember at television, we used to say like the 23 hours of the day that the show's not on or whatever. And so it's also like this, cottage industry, as you said, Megan, like I think another one that is very interesting to me too is Disney. Like I feel like Disney creators, like especially like even specifically like around the theme parks.
Mhm.
Like there's one that I follow who she's very interesting. She literally lives in Portland, Oregon and flies to Disney World like every month. And she is more of a food, she's a food creator. So she goes to all of the different like festivals in Epcot, does all this stuff. She does not get paid by Disney at all. Nothing. She doesn't get comped anything. Nothing. Like not even like discount tickets to the park, nothing. And she's built like this entire community. Obviously she's in with like other creators. There's like podcasters, like Main Street Dish is like they're like very good friends. So they all like collab and do all this stuff. But it's just interesting, like from a brand perspective, like all of that's happening, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can even see like a virtual like gaming experience for like going to Epcot.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
1,000%.
um, anyways.
Yeah, the like Disney creators are interesting because I feel like it's like there isn't always a positive connotation of like the is Disney adult like meme, and that's kind of used as like an insult online. But I wonder if it's like these people, I think they're like park hoppers, right? The people who like the adults who constantly go to Disney. um, but like they're so passionate about it. But I feel like Disney's like, we don't need to. Like these people are doing it on their own. We don't.
It's also
Yeah.
Disney has had this level of fan base and obsession always. It's always existed. It's just more visible now thanks to the internet. And it's like more
Yeah.
lucrative too, you know?
Yeah. Well, it also gives more gathering places to
Yeah.
sort of talk
Mhm.
about it as well and like swap notes and tips and like because it is such a like I mean, just the amount of niches that you could come up with, like just specifically around Disney is like insane.
And also, I think something that Disney has that Bravo should think more about is like a merch strategy because all of these people want to launch brands. And I feel like the way they've done it in the past, it's not been great. And if they could figure out a way to just make this more of like, you're coming on this show to win people over with your personality and then launch something and we're going to help you and we're going to get a kickback. But like, we're also like right now, it's very not that. It's like, if you
That's
talk about
so
it, you
interesting.
have to give us so much money that like, I don't know. I think we should talk more about that sometime.
No, you're totally right.
You're like making show notes for next week.
I am, and I'm rewatching Atlanta Housewives from the beginning, and literally like every scene, I'm like, oh my god, that's a trending TikTok sound. Like,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
so interesting. Like in the reunions back in the day, they heavily pushed merch in a way they don't anymore. And like anything funny Nene said was made into a T-shirt and a mug. And
Oh,
it's
that they sold. Yeah.
yeah, and then Andy would, like, hawk during the reunion and watch what happens live.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely had a lawyer be like, no more.
I wonder if that's why these, like, Bravo celebrities are lawyered up better and they're, like,
Well, I think
protecting
a
what
lot
they're
of
worth
it. I
more.
mean, I don't know. Like, I think it was Bethany Frankel that like really like
Yeah.
started the like
Skinny girl.
no, this is the skinny girl and like, but also like she I think really put into motion like the possibilities that are offer or that you can conceptualize of from being on that platform.
Yeah. I
For Bravo, that's where I focus versus
Mhm.
content AI product.
Well, I hope somebody
like
from
that note.
Bravo is listening. So this was so much fun and it went by really fast. And now we have to hop another call. I'm sad. But thank you guys so much. I could talk Bravo for literally ever. So this is sad for me. But thank you guys.
We're part of the cottage industry.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking around. And as always, we will be publishing this on Friday, so you can listen back to it at your leisure. Thank you guys.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too.